Hi, so today I want to talk to you about the word no and giving it meaning and value. So a lot of times a person will get a brand new puppy and it'll do something wrong, like maybe say steal a piece of food from your child, or maybe jump up on the counter and steal food from the counter, and you yell out the word no. So initially the dog, because you've yelled out the word, may respond in the way that you want. Maybe they'll stop, they'll drop it, they'll run away. And that's okay initially, but over time the dog becomes kind of immune to that. That doesn't affect him anymore, the yelling, because nothing really bad comes from it. It's rather more of they enjoyed the reward of the bad behavior that they did over the punishment that they received. So no, and it has to be given meaning, and it has to be given value. A good example of this would be, say, a child steals something from the store, and they just get a firm talking to. Now, what is more rewarding to that child, or what has affected the child more? The enjoyment of the toy that they got to play with because they stole it, or the enjoyment of the piece of candy that they ate after they stole it, or the firm talking to? Which affected the child more? So the same thing goes with our dogs. If you tell your dog no, it really needs to be followed up by a correction, or the terrible word punishment or discipline that is going to affect the dog or have more value for the dog than the reward of the bad behavior that they committed. So yelling after a while does not work, because, like I said, the treat of getting the food was more enjoyable, or it was a bigger imprint on the dog than the punishment was. The good news about punishment is it doesn't always necessarily have to be something that's painful for the dog. Sometimes, some dogs are stubborn and they need a punishment that's a little more painful, but not always. Mostly punishment is something that the dog will not tolerate. So, for example, if I go to a restaurant and there's a cockroach on the table, I'm not going to tolerate that. If I see that, I'm not going to return back to that store or that restaurant. So the same thing for the dog. I didn't receive a punishment. There wasn't anything painful to me. I just won't tolerate a disgusting cockroach anywhere near my food. So the same goes for a dog. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that hurts. It just has to be something that the dog won't tolerate. Some really good tools for punishment that I use are, let's see here, the Pet Convincer. I use this mainly for dogs who bark too much or get too excited. And all this does is spray air. I also have a bonker. This is a towel that's rolled up with rubber bands at both ends. You can throw this at the dog's head. It's just a towel. It doesn't hurt the dog. A lot of dogs just won't tolerate it, and so they quit with the bad behavior. This gives your no value. So just work with your dog. Find different things that may affect your dog. It may not be one of these. It may be something else that you need to use, but your dog will tell you what the correct thing is and what it won't tolerate. I'm Jessica Mashburn, the Lady in OK Lady Canine Training.